This is my very quick, non-techie review of the Corsair Vengeance a7200. There are a handful of items that I think are considered pros about this computer, such as the fact that it's visually appealing, it has great airflow through the tower, it has competitive pricing for the parts that are currently available in today's market, and it has really good FPS within the few games that I do play. I do want to say that I do think for the components that are available, this is actually overall a great deal. There are some issues that I have, which I'll be going over throughout this video. But if you stick around near the end, I will actually be comparing this price to the Part Picker app, as well as Digital Storm, Clx, and NZXT, so stick around for that. Let's start off with gaming. The first thing you're probably going to want to know is Warzone and Fortnite. I'm sure there's other big games out there, so I'm sorry if I upset you by saying that. But for Warzone at 1440p monitoring at highest resolution possible, I consistently sit at around 120 and 130 within the game. And within Fortnite, I easily sit at 144 frames per second with this current setup with no additional components added to it. If you add MSI Afterburner, you can get up to about 130 consistently on Warzone, and I don't try to go over 144 on Fortnite since that's the highest my hertz can process within the monitor itself. Okay, so the first thing I actually want to call out about the review on this is the customer support of Corsair. Throughout this entire time I've had them, I've worked with them at least 5 times through email, chat, and on the phone. I've asked questions such as, what is the version of the RTX graphics card, which they didn't know. I asked how long shipment would take because of COVID, and they said 6 to 8 weeks, but it came in 1 week, so I'm not actually complaining about that, but it definitely does show inconsistency in their customer support, and that is enough for me to turn away from a company altogether. So I don't know about you, but I thought that was very important to call out. The second thing I want to call out as a con for this computer is actually, if you saw my unboxing video, I talked about the RAM setup. The RAMs that come with the computer itself is has a different timing than any other RAM in the market, so you can't actually add more Vengeance Pro RAM to the computer without replacing all 4 sticks yourself. Now, if you're very lucky, maybe you'll get a lottery ticket bag where it actually does work, but for me, my computer broke down, didn't work, and I had to run BIOS, so I was very frustrated with that and reached out to Corsair on multiple occasions and asked them to replace my RAM for free with something that's currently in the market, because I would expect that if I'm buying a PC from them. They did tell me no. They said, you're kind of out of luck. I've talked to multiple people over there and they're unhelpful. So that's a turnoff for me overall. Now, I think the bigger thing you may be wondering about is whether the main pre-built competitors are actually worth it or not, and if you should check them out. The first area is a website called Part Picker. You can see that the components from the PC are listed, but overall, without the GPU, it adds up to be about $1,300. With the GPU included at the MSRP price, it would come out to about $2,100, so paying $2,250 really isn't that bad. Now let's compare that price with our components on Digital Storm. You can see from this page that's not the exact same components, but it has the 3070 GPU we want, about 2 terabytes of hard drive and 50 gigs of SSD, along with the same CPU and an Asus Prime motherboard. This will put us over $2,700 at the time, and it estimates for 30 to 35 business days for shipping. And so in this area, I would say no thank you. Let's move on to NZXT. NZXT build has a smaller case, but the components overall are pretty similar. The shipment is really quick, as it says it'll be shipped out within 2 business days, and it just costs a few $100s more than Corsair, coming in around $2,500. But their RAM is upgradable, so they actually provide you the option online to do 4 sticks of RAM, which is really nice. Last but not least is Clx Gaming, which is probably the best competitor for Corsair compared to these two we just talked about. You can see that this throws in a Ryzen 7 5800X, which is a better CPU depending on your daily tasks. The GPU is a 3070 like we want, but we don't know what kind, so we have similar components to the Corsair with some minor differences, but this puts us around $2,300 for the price range. It does take 11 to 21 business days for the shipping, which isn't horrible, and it's worth looking into. Now, I know I said that Clx Gaming is the last PC I'd recommend, but actually I found one called Main Gear, and I don't know if it's mainstream or not yet, but they have some really nice PCs for about $1,700 that I would recommend. You can see the one on the screen here is wonderful, so give them a chance, go check them out and see if they're any good. I don't know about their brand or reputations, so you may have to look into that a little bit more. Now the final question is, would I buy this PC again? My answer for that would be no, and I already talked about how earlier I wasted a lot of time with customer support and the RAM issue that they're having. So with the market coming back and GPUs becoming more readily available, I'd probably recommend rebuilding your own or making your own, or buying a pre-built PC through Clx Gaming or Main Gear. I think both of those are good companies to go look into if you check them out. Otherwise, I want to thank you guys for coming and checking out this video, and I hope it helps you in some way, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.